Welcome to Gonti Black Friday. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I think I like this. We got Expedition Map, Ancient Tomb. Yeah, we'll keep. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. Not, this is right on the cusp of maybe we would mulligan to be just a little bit more aggressive, but yeah, I like it. We can make this work. Let's get down Swamp. Let's go for Expedition Map. Let's get that down, and then there we go. Anything else? Nope, we're going to go past the turn to our planet. We're going to have a mono black matchup today, so really excited about this particular match. But we are playing Gonti, Lord of Luxury, Mr. Black Friday himself. Death Touch, whenever Gonti enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library, exile one of those cards, and then we may spend our manas or any color to cast that spell. Let's get down this basic Swamp and kick it back over to our opponent. Playing against Liliana. She's going to have lifelink, and then whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile Liliana, and then return her to the battlefield tapped, or excuse me, return her to the battlefield as a planeswalker, and then you get a zombie, so pretty cool. Let's crack this expedition map, and we'll kind of figure out exactly what we want to grab. I guess we could just go and go for Stronghold, because we're going to end up with 3 swamps, and if we just rip into Urborg, that'll be pretty good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, let's just go and grab coffers. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully we rip into a few more swamps, and then we can go from there. We still have Ancient Tomb to kind of help us smooth out some of that mana. In fact, we're going to be online for Gonti this turn, so let's go and go for that. Let's get down to Ancient Tomb. Let's go for Mr. Black Friday himself. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And see what we can steal. And also, I'm in the, like I've mentioned, we're working on play mats, working on t-shirts. That's still in the works. I haven't forgot about that. Ooh, there's some good stuff in here. Okay, so Grave Pact would definitely be pretty oppressive in this matchup. I'm almost tempted to go for Liliana of the Dark Realms. Yeah, I think that would work out really well. We could go for Grave Pact, but we don't really have a ton of ways to really kind of keep that synergy going. So I think I like going for Liliana. So we're going to take a Liliana, and then we already made the land drop for the turn, and then we're going to go and pass it back over to our opponent. But yeah, so I'm still in the process of doing t-shirts and playmats and stuff. In fact, we're working on a Church of Athreus playmat right now. I hired an illustrator to make a Church of Athreus playmat, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And another thing that I'm going to have them work on a Gonti playmat, which is going to look good. I think I'm going to like it. Now we can get down Liliana, and we go for Liliana. We go for the -3. It's only going to be 3 swamps. Yeah, because we want to get Liliana on the battlefield. So let's go for Liliana. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think we go for that -3. I like going for that -3 on Liliana, because that's going to get her not to flip. It's going to just basically send her back to the command zone. No, we do not want to give her +3/+3. Okay, it's going to send her back, and oh yeah, dang it. All right, anything else? We're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Yeah, I just for some reason in my head while I was explaining the playmats, I was thinking that Liliana would still stick around at 1. So yeah, that was a little bit of a kind of an expensive spot removal, but hey, that happens sometimes. At least we got the commander tax going back up. But yeah, long story short, working on a Gonti playmat, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to release a lot of this stuff. I'm waiting for a lot of this artwork to be done. That way I can kind of release it all at once and have some fun. But that reminds me, let's give a shout out to MTGOTraders for being a sponsor of the channel. If you want to get into Magic, paper Magic, online Commander on Magic Online, hit up MTGOTraders or hit up their paper store, Cape Fear Games, for any sort of ordering paper cards online. Or if you're in the area, go check them out. Let's get down Swamp. So we need to start working towards coffers too. That's going to be a 1/1, enters the battlefield. Yeah, because at some point we need to kind of start recasting Gonti. We could go for Yahini's Expertise. That's going to wipe the board out, but then we don't really have much to kind of show for Yahini's Expertise. Let's push in with Gonti at this point. It's going to be a 2/3 with Death Touch. Okay, it's going to put them down to 28, and that's going to be 2 total commander damage. Yeah, we can go for Black Sun Zenith. That's going to get rid of pretty much everybody on this side of the battlefield. Yeah, so we tap down coffers. It's going to be 1/2 off of Ancient Tomb. And this way we can at least send a lot of these creatures back. We can send Gonti back to the command zone and then recast it. And at the same time, get rid of our opponent's creatures. And then we can go for the spot removal off the manifest creature, because we want to make sure that Liliana doesn't flip. That's going to be our main thing that we're concerned with. So, and plus, it's always nice. We did see some really nice stuff whenever we got that first Gonti trigger. So that was Be nice to start recasting Gonti. Let's get Gonti pop back up. And just in case we are worried about some sort of mass reanimator, we will be able to play Bajuka Bog and at least kind of clean up our opponent's graveyard. And also, shout out to Inked Gaming. Use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order and help off the channel. So, it is free time. Now we can officially talk and enjoy this Black Friday. I'm trying to get better about announcing the sponsors and stuff like that because it makes a big difference. So let's go for Bajuka Bog. They got down Lifeline. Yeah, let's go Bajuka Bog. It's going to be Bajuka Bog exiling their graveyard. That's going to get rid of Pilgrim's Eye. Let's go for Ancient Tomb on Coffers. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then Gonti's going to be 6 total. Man, yeah, I like that. Let's go for Gonti. Let's look at the top 4 cards of our opponent's library. Worst case scenario, we can still go for another Yahini's Expertise next turn. And that allows us to recast. Ooh, Sword of Feast and Famine. That is, I think that's what we want. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, so we're going to grab Sword of Feast and Famine. That's going to go into our exile zone, and then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. So now with this lifeline, let's double check this real quick. First of all, I love the art. Whenever a creature dies, if another creature is on the battlefield, return the first card. Whenever another creature dies, if a creature is on the battlefield, return the first card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. And if I'm reading that correctly, whenever a creature dies, if another creature is on the battlefield, return the first card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning. I guess, you know, if there's one creature, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when you read a card that's a little just slightly confusing in your head while giving commentary, I'm like, I think I know how this works. Anyway, I think it's the thing that's kind of thrown me for a loop is return the first card to the battlefield. I guess they're talking about the first card out of the graveyard. I don't know. Let's look up the Oracle on that one. We're going to go to Scryfall, type in Lifeline. But yeah, so I'm excited to start doing a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess it basically just kind of brings them back out of the graveyard. I think that's what they're talking about. Let's go ahead and block on this Manifest creature because we are a 2/3, and that is simply just a 2/2. I guess we could see if they want to. Okay, so then that was Liliana the Veil. Oh, what a nice grab off of that Manifest. That'd have been pretty bad. And I don't think that's going to bring Liliana back. That shouldn't. That'd be a major bummer if it did. But also at the same time, that would be pretty cool if they didn't. Liliana got back. But I'm pretty sure since it's a Planeswalker in the graveyard, that's not going to happen. All right, so our opponent's going to go for Sidisi. I think the exploit trigger on Sidisi, and that's also going to bring it back. Oh, look at that. Look at that value. Now, we still have Go for the Throat. If we can somehow, if we go for Yahini's Expertise. Yeah, because we've got to break it to where there's no creatures on the battlefield to go for Lifeline. We do have Vampiric Tutor if we want to grab something off of Vampiric Tutor. But I think at this point with Sword of Feast and Famine, getting in, connecting for a pretty good chunk of damage, untapping with it, we'll decide exactly what we want to go for. We could actually almost grab something like Worst Fears. And that would maybe, if they're doing some tutoring right now, if they're trying to set up their turn, a well-timed Worst Fears might really kind of help us out. And especially if we get down this swamp, that's going to be Ancient Tomb with Coffers, 4 mana, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that should be just enough for Worst Fears. So yeah, we might end up going for Worst Fears just to kind of see what sort of shenanigans they're tutoring up. So, and that's quickly become one of my favorite cards in this deck is Worst Fears and Army of the Damned. You know, if you're playing against mono black, you don't really want to. You can go for Army of the Damned depending on the board state, but if you only have one tutor, you want to take advantage of that tutor. And so, Army of the Damned is always really nice to kind of bounce back. But Worst Fears, I don't know. There's been a lot of times where it's just worked out really well. All right, so we're gonna get the Lifeline triggers. Let's see if that's gonna bring back. It's going to bring back Sidisi, so they're going to get an additional tutor. And they're going to have to exploit. Let's see if it's going to bring back the... Oh, it does! It brings back Liliana! That's wild! That is really cool! Okay, alright, so now we've got Liliana to play around. That's a bummer. Yeah, I think we end up going for Worst Fears next turn. We need to do that. So let's go Vampiric Tutor during our upkeep. That's pretty sweet. Get a Liliana off a Lifeline. All right, so let's get this popped down. Let's grab that Worst Fears. It's going to go on top of our library. We're going to draw into it. Let's get down Swamp. Let's go for Sword of Feast and Famine. We stole it. The Black Friday special that we got. That's going to be 1, 2. Let's go Sword of Feast and Famine. 1, 2, 3. We're going to be able to equip that onto Gonti, Lord of Luxury. That's going to give protection from black, which is going to be a huge difference in this one. All right, so we're going to go and swing in for 4. And we could swing in at Liliana, but we need to get this Sword of Feast and Famine trigger to untap our land. So we're actually going to go and swing in at our opponent with Gonti. And at this point right now, we might be able to just basically just kind of keep turning Gonti sideways. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, we've got ourselves a fun mono-black matchup at this point right now. But yeah, what we can do is we go for Worst Fears. We go for -2, make our opponent sacrifice Sidisi to kind of search something that may not be that good, and then we can hopefully kind of find an answer going forward. All right, so we're going to swing in with Gonti. And if we needed to go for the throat, we could, but I think that lifeline, yeah, it's just going to basically bring back Sidisi, so that's okay. All right, so they discard Razaketh, and let's go for Worst Fears on our opponent. Let's actually tap down the mana first. Hopefully this turns out to be really good for us. I love Worst Fears. Choose our opponent. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, worst case scenario, we're looking at Liliana -2. We can target, because it says target player sacrifices a creature. So that's going to allow us to get rid of that. We can go for Phyrexian Tower. If we want to go for Gonti, we can actually, let's say our opponent has some spot removal in the hand, we can get rid of Gonti. Well, actually, it has protection from black, so that's not going to really help us out much. But we're going to try to get this Worst Fears to stick, and it looks like it is. And so let's go ahead and kind of see what our opponent's got cooking in the kitchen. There's just something so just satisfying about taking an extra turn in mono black. I don't know, it's always, you can pretty much do anything you want in the black color, except it's, it's costed aggressively. In Worst Fears is, 8 mana, but with coffers and stuff like that, getting to that Worst Fears, it's such a high impact card. I just love going for it. Even if we don't win the game, emotionally I've already won the game. Then that's a lot of fun. All right, so opponent's going to go for some last minute activations with Phyrexian Tower, and that's going to get Sidisi into the graveyard. And that'll pop back at the next instep, which should give us the opportunity to go for that. Ravenous Chupacabra, Recurring Nightmare, Larry David's Disc, and Karn. All right, then we draw into Extra Karn. So we can't go for the Liliana activation. Is there any certain way we want to sequence this? So we got Larry David's Disc, we've got Karn out here. Man, they grabbed a ton of, and with this Sword of Feast and Fame and Protection from Black, they can get these activations. That'll really, I guess if we want to deal with Karn, we can go for the, because we need protection from black to kind of keep this going. Now, since they did, well, if we end up plussing up on Liliana, that's going to make each player discard a card, and that's going to make Liliana start working up. But we can sequence it to where it doesn't have that. So what do we want to get rid of? If they go for Larry David's Disc, that's not the end of the world. That's going to keep those Planeswalkers around. Let's go for Liliana of activation. Each player discards a card. We're going to click OK, pass. So let's go ahead and get rid of, just so we're not dealing with any, oh, no, I don't want to do that. Let's get rid of Karn. I think that'd be the best option. So we go for, yeah, because Ravenous Chupacabra is going to target them. We have to worry about that. Yeah, I think we want to get rid of Karn. So we're going to choose Karn. That's going to be okay. And then we can still end up swinging in at the Liliana. We're going to click OK. So we're going to get rid of Command B, can get rid of Karn. And then I guess at this point we go for Karn. We can't necessarily go for Karn because Yehini's expertise is going to get rid. So there's really not much else we can really do on this one. I was hoping there'd be a lot more better stuff in here, but we don't really want to get down Ravenous Chupacabra. I guess technically we can cast it and then sacrifice it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Karn. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can sacrifice it to Phyrexian Tower. And actually, I think that's going to bring it back with the with the lifeline out there. Okay, yeah, I think. So I was hoping we had a lot more Worst Fear stuff, but it really threw me for a loop whenever there just wasn't a lot of good stuff in there. And so that's going to bring Karn back to the battlefield. So let's go and exploit Exploit Karn. And that's going, yeah, man, this is got a lot of loops going. This is not, so yes, no, we're not going to use that build. We're not going to tutor anything. And click OK. Okay, there we go. All right, anything else? I'm going to kick back over to our turn. All right, that was not a lot of, sorry about that. That wasn't really that high impact. That was not that good. All right, so we can go for the throat if we want to. Actually, let's do this. So let's go and swing in first with Gonti. We'll get down Viscera Seer. And that way we can start sacrificing some creatures and get a little bit of a better go for the throat. All right, so let's go and swing in at Liliana. That's going to knock her down to 4. And then let's go for Viscera Seer, sacrificing Gonti. Yeah, because we need to start recasting Gonti. So we're going to get the Scry, Exsanguinate. Yeah, do we want that at this point? Let's go and put that on the bottom. And let's go and sacrifice Viscera Seer to its own ability. And then we're going to go for the throat on Sidisi. That's going to be 1-2. And then we're going to get that Scry, Yahini. Let's go and put Yahini on the bottom. All right, then anything else? No. Because I don't think we can recast Gonti. We'll see. How much is Gonti? Gonti's going to be 8 total mana. Yeah, we definitely don't have 8. All right, so we're simply just going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. I think we still get... oh, they get Karn back. Okay. Well, anyway, that's okay. It's a -4/-4. But yeah, so after we went for that Worst Fears, and there was just a lot of weird shenanigans, and, you know, sometimes you're playing with a card for the first time, and you think you understand it, and you're trying to, you know a bunch of people are going to watch this video. It's a little, your mind starts to like, am I doing this right? You start to overthink things. So maybe we could have done that Worst Fears a little bit differently, but... yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm sitting here at my desk and nobody's watching, but I know a bunch of people are going to watch it. So when I have a moment to where it's just kind of like, I need to shine or whatever, like I need to make sure I'm doing the best thing that I can, it always makes me like, get really, I guess, anxious sometimes. I don't know. It kind of clouds my decision making. And so I'm just like, make sure you do this right. Don't mess it up. I think that's what it is. Once you get to a certain point, the video gets to a certain minute mark, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good video. People want to see this. Don't goof it up. And sometimes that happens. So, yeah, with that sequencing with Karn, I was like, yeah, we can get rid of it. And then I was like, oh, Lifeline's on the battlefield. So, and that's one of the bummers, is that they can bring back Karn and turn this stuff into some artifact creatures. And then they'll be able to, if they've got some spot removal, get rid of it. But that was still a pretty cool line of play by our opponent, bringing back Liliana with that Manifest. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, and that was pretty cool. Now, as far as getting out from underneath this one of the things that makes Gonti a ton of fun is that, yeah, look at this board state. This is, we got Ravenous Chupacabra chewing up a sword. Yeah, so when you've got mono black, you know, this is a lot of just good stuff versus good stuff. So it's kind of like this weird... What makes Gonti good is, you know, if we steal one of the really good blue cards from a blue deck, then we can use that to our advantage. So when we've got a bunch of just kind of like mono black cards that are just good on their own, it just makes for a clunky game. It's almost kind of like Gonti is not as good as it could be. But, hey, it is what it is. So at this point right now, we have Yahini's Expertise. We've kind of dug a little bit deeper into our library. Unfortunately, I thought we could cut off the Lifeline, but I forgot about that last Karn activation. So, and then the recurring Nightmare. So this is going to be very interesting, to be perfectly honest. So hopefully we can just kind of keep sequencing a ton of Gonti stuff. And even if they keep bringing back Ravenous Chupacabra. We are at 10, though, so we definitely need to kind of keep that in mind. Oh, no. And that Lifeline, does that come back on our opponent's side? Oh, that does. That is nasty. That is really nasty. Okay. Let's get... Yeah, as soon as I was like, that's going to come back, because that was a creature, and we didn't have control of that. That is pretty brutal. So let's go and get down Gilded Lotus. Yeah, we're not getting out from underneath this one, because they put down Sword of Feast and Famine on Karn. That's going to be 6. That's going to be the swinging in for 4. We could go for Yahini's Expertise just to kind of chew it up just a little bit. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, we should have gone for Gonti, but either way, it's going to be 8 total mana. We still have to tap down Ancient Tomb. But I guess we still end up going for it. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So we tap down Coffers. That's going to be 5 total mana. Yeah, we're still going to go for Yahini's Expertise. That's going to get rid of Ravenous Chupacabra. Still going to bring it back. That way, Yeah, that's still whatever. They're gonna bring it back. So our opponent's gonna get it on this one. They get the Sword of Feast and Famine on there. Yeah, sorry this game didn't. I was really hoping that Worst Fears would really kind of turn the tides on this one, but that did not. Yeah, it's been a good game though. You can definitely see how Lifeline is a pretty high impact card, bringing back a ton of stuff out of the graveyard, and look at Karn. He's got Lifeline swinging in as a 5/5, and yeah, good game to our opponent. That was they've got tons of just like that Lifeline. It's just really hard to kind of beat that Lifeline, especially once we use that Bajuka Bog early on. We couldn't really get rid of that one. So, and I probably didn't play it as tight as I should have. But good game to our opponent. It was Mono Black versus Mono Black. We got to steal some stuff. We got a Worst Fears going today, but unfortunately our opponent didn't have a ton of Worst Fears stuff, and I unfortunately kind of misplayed into that Lifeline. But that happens. That's what makes Magic magic sometimes. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.